Hello students, welcome back to Karthikeya IAS Academy. So this is the fourth chapter of NCERT Polity, class number 8. So the chapter heading is Understanding Laws. So what are these laws and which body in the government is going to make these laws and what is the effect of the laws on the people that we are going to understand from this chapter. So you may be familiar with some laws such as those such that specify the age of a marriage, the age at which a person can vote, perhaps even the laws dealing with buying and selling of property. So generally, the central legislature, that is parliament, is in charge of making of such laws. So, but there are some laws which are unpopular and some laws are which are controversial also. If then what the citizen should do under such circumstances in this chapter we are going to understand. So there's a small illustration, a group of people, demonstration you can see here. So first of all, do laws apply to all? Yes, whether as per the Indian constitution, the concept of rule of law is going to be applied for all the citizens of India equally. Here in this slide, he is trying to explain one image. So that is, so read in the following situation and answer the questions that follow. A government official helps his son go into hiding because of his son has been given a 10-year jail sentence by the district court. So we'll understand what is meant by district court, what is meant by High Court, and what is meant by Supreme Court in the next chapters of the NCERT. Now, this government official is, so whatever that person has committed a crime, the government officials helps to that person. So in this slide, he is explaining what is the type of action on the government official, whether the law is applicable to the government officials or to the common man equally or not. So, but if you see that the above is a clear case of violation of law, as you read in unit number 1, no arbitrary excess of power in the independent India. That is the constitution providing several provisions that was established rule of law. Very important topic. So this rule of law concept is very important. My dear students, you should focus on the concept of rule of law. This will be a 10 marks question in your mains exam. The most important of this was that all the persons in independent India are equal before the law. Then మరి ఈ రూల్ ఆఫ్ లా అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది అంటే ఏ రాజ్యాంగం నుంచి ఈ రూల్ ఆఫ్ లా అనే టాపిక్ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది I can simply use a word called rule of law means that is called the ideology of the constitution which is also called as constitutionalism. అంటే రాజ్యాంగం యొక్క ముఖ్యమైన ఐడియాలజీలో రూల్ ఆఫ్ లాగా మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. So there are some terminology in the constitution we are going to explain. That is rule of law, constitutionalism and constitutional morality, all the terminology which related to everybody equal before law. So in this here if you see that, I'll just give you who invented this rule of law. If you see the image, the rule of law which is borrowed from UK constitution. Professor A.V. Dicey written a book called The Law of the Constitution. In that book he mentioned about the rule of law, which means equality before law, which is also we are considering as Article 14 in the Indian Constitution. Article 14 talks about two aspects. One is equality before law and second is equal protection of laws. My dear students, you can definitely expect 10 marks questions on equality before law and equal protection of laws. Right, so I'll move forward and I'll try to explain the other important informations in this topic. Just one second. Yeah. Right, so the law cannot discriminate between the persons on the basis of the religion or a caste or gender. What the rule of law means is that all the laws apply equally to all the citizens of the country. No one can be above the law. Neither the government official, nor a wealthy person, or even a member or even the president of India is not above the law. Any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment as well as a process through which the guilt of a person has to be established. That means the law is applicable to all the people in India, including the President of India. Though he is the first citizen of the country, he can also be treated equally under the same conditions of rule of law. In ancient India, the rule of law will be differently enjoyed by the different community. That is, the different communities enjoy different degrees of autonomy in administering these laws. For example, if a punishment that the two persons receive for the same crime varied depending on their caste backgrounds, and that is lower caste receive a harsh punishment whereas upper caste receive a very small, whereas slow began, that means the upper caste receive a minimum amount of punishment, right? So that is what important. What rule of law అంటే చట్టం ముందు అందరూ సమానంగా ట్రీట్ చేయబడమే రూల్ ఆఫ్ లాగా చెప్తూ ఉంటారు. సో దీన్ని ఇక్కడ ఎగ్జాంపుల్గా మెన్షన్ చేస్తారు. దీన్ని మ్యాచ్ చేసి చూద్దాం. ఈ రెండు కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మనకి. సో మనం అటు ప్రిలిమినరీ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఒకటి పడుతుంది, మెయిన్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా పడే అవకాశాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ జాగ్రత్తగా గమనిద్దాం. సో బ్రిటిష్ ఆర్బిటరీనెస్ వాజ్ ద రౌలత్ యాక్ట్. రౌలత్ యాక్ట్ అనేది ఒక యాక్ట్ జరిగింది. దీన్ని మనం సెడిషన్ యాక్ట్గా చెప్తూ ఉంటాం. What is this Sedition Act of 1870 or Rowlatt Act, so 1919? So, which allowed the British government to imprison people without due trial. అంటే ఎటువంటి ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్ చేయకుండా, ఎటువంటి న్యాయ నిర్ణయం చేయకుండా, the judiciary powers is also enjoyed by the police officer under the Rowlatt Act. Without the proper trial, the persons has to be arrested and kept in the jail. So, Indian nationalists including Mahatma Gandhi also opposition to the Rowlatt bills. Despite the large number of protests, the Rowlatt Act came into effect on March 10th, 1919. So because of this incident, in Punjab, there is a small protest happened in April 10th. Two leaders of the movement, Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu, were arrested. To protest this arrest, a public meeting was held on 13th April 1919 at Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar. The General Dyer entered the park with his troop. They closed the door that is exist without giving any warning. The General Dyer ordered his troop. My dear students, if you see the image here, this is the image of Amritsar. So this is the troop of General Dyer, and without giving any warning, all the people were killed. That means under section 144 is there. Section 144 curfew is also there. That is also at the time it is called as Sedition Act. So when this type of action are taken by the government, that was completely opposed by the nationalist leaders of the movement, and several hundreds of people were died in this gunfire. Many more wounded, including women and children. And this painting shows the truth of it. Then the same thing, it is often believed that the British colonists who introduced the rule of law in India, but historically it is not right. The one example of arbitrariness that continued to exist as a part of British rule is called the Sedition Act of 1870. This act still exists in India, my dear student. Whenever if somebody is talking about against the government used to arrest him. But at the same time, I just want to mention one point and clear about it one point. That is, if somebody has trying to criticize the government, do you think that if government is trying to arrest him and sending him to the jail, then who will constructively criticize the government? That is Article 19(1)(a), freedom of speech and expressions we are losing. That is the most important fundamental rights of the citizens. So that is why you can expect one 10 marks questions. What is meant by Sedition Act? How it is affecting the fundamental rights of right to freedom of speech. Right, my dear students, the Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing this arbitrary use of authority. So same information was put in it. So Indians played a major role in the evolution of rule of law during the colonial period. So in the previous chapter number 6, the constitution is also adopted a foundation stone, and Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 ఈ చట్టం చేయబడింది. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ చట్టం ఇది. సో అకార్డింగ్ టు దిస్ న్యూ లా, సన్స్ కానీ డాటర్స్, దేర్ మదర్స్ కెన్ గెట్ అన్ ఈక్వల్ షేర్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫ్యామిలీ ప్రాపర్టీ. సో కాబట్టి తండ్రి నుంచి వచ్చేటువంటి ఆస్తి ఏదైనా సరే అందరూ కూడా సమానంగా పంచుకోవడం బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ది షేర్ ఉంటుంది. సో సిమిలర్లీ న్యూ లాస్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఎనాక్టెడ్ టు కంట్రోల్ ద పొల్యూషన్ అండ్ ప్రొవైడ్ ది ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్. ఎస్ మై డియర్ వెరీ సింపుల్, పార్లమెంట్ హ్యాస్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ రోల్ ఇన్ మేకింగ్ లాస్. పార్లమెంట్ చట్టాలు చేస్తుంది, కేంద్రానికి సంబంధించిన చట్టాలు. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం రాష్ట్రాలకు సంబంధించిన చట్టాలన్నీ కూడా స్టేట్ లెజిస్లేచర్ చేస్తుంది. సో an important role of the parliament is to be sensitive to the problems faced by the people. Let us read about some domestic violence. This is very, very important. And so when we are writing about gender equality and women empowerment, you can quote this domestic violence on the women also. So here there is a case called domestic violence. Generally refers to the injury or harm or threat to the injury or harm caused by an adult male, usually husband, against his wife. This injury may be caused by the physically beating up or emotionally abusing her, or abuse of women can be include verbal, sexual, economic abuse. So in 2005, the act came into force and the word domestic was included in all the women who live or have lived together in a shared household. అంటే ఎవరైనా సరే ఆ ఇంట్లో ఉండి వాళ్ళు ఎటువంటి ఇష్యూస్ అయినా ఫేస్ చేసినట్లయితే వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా చట్టబద్ధలోకి వస్తారని, వాళ్ళకి న్యాయం జరుగుతుంది అనేది ఈ చట్టం యొక్క సారాంశం. ఇక్కడ చూడండి మై డియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఒక చాలా చిన్న ఇమేజ్ ఉంది. జనరల్గా స్టూడెంట్స్ దీన్ని పెద్దగా పట్టించుకోరు, కానీ ఇక్కడ ఒక 10 మార్క్స్ క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది. అలాగే మనం ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. సో ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ సస్టైనబుల్ డెవలప్మెంటల్ గోల్స్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? లెట్ us say in 2005 Millennium Developmental Goals, that is most 195 countries have adopted these Millennium Developmental Goals. That Millennium Developmental Goals, that is MDG goals, you can say that MDG, మనం MDG goals అంటాం. సో MDG goals 8 goals ఉన్నాయండి. ఈ MDG 8 goals ఉన్నాయి. సో these 8 goals, so the Millennium Developmental Goals has 8 goals which came into force. For example, in 2005 to 2015, these Millennium Developmental Goals are implemented. But out of 8 goals, most of the goals are not successfully implemented. Very few goals we have succeeded. So again in 2015, the Sustainable Developmental Goals has started. In 2015, 195 nations agreed that they can change the world for better. The period is 2015 to 2030. My dear students, this is an important question. How many goals are there in Sustainable Developmental Goals? There are 17 goals are there. The first goal is eliminating poverty. Second is erase hunger. Third is establish good health and well-being. Fourth, provide quality education. Fifth, enforce gender equality. And sixth, improve the clean water and sanitation. ప్రతిదీ ఒక 10 మార్క్స్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్. Wherever you are writing a 10 marks question which related to this topic, you should quote the Sustainable Developmental Goals concept. ఈ 17 అంశాలకు సంబంధించి ఏవైనా మెయిన్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కనుక పడినట్లయితే కంపల్సరిగా మీరు SDG గురించి రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఇవన్నీ కోట్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, కానీ దిస్ ఇస్ ద గోల్ ఆఫ్ ది యూనివర్సల్ గోల్గా మనం మెన్షన్ చేస్తాం. కాబట్టి ఇవన్నీ ఒకసారి చదవండి. రిడ్యూసింగ్ ఇన్ఈక్వాలిటీ, ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ, ఇన్నోవేషన్ అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్, క్రియేటింగ్ డీసెంట్ వర్క్ అండ్ ఎకనామిక్ గ్రోత్. ఈ టాపిక్స్ అన్ని చాలా ఇంపార్టెంటే. సో డెవలప్ లైఫ్ బిలో వాటర్, ఆర్గనైజ్ క్లైమేటిక్ యాక్షన్, అడ్వాన్స్ లైఫ్ ఆన్ ది ల్యాండ్, ఎక్సెట్రా. So these are the 17 goals which you have to remember. So right, so I think you have understood this importance of Sustainable Development Goals. Now moving forward, so in this storyboard there are two women that are trying to explain about what is the meaning of this, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, which is passed. But these two women are talking about how the importance of this act, what is the tyranny in that period of 1991. So they're trying to explain each other, and so if you look at that, I need an advice. So here they have mentioned that my husband beats me up and I haven't been told anyone so far. I feel as ashamed. I cannot go like this anymore, but I have nowhere to go. And I'm being ill-treated. That means these two women are facing domestic violence at their home in different aspects. So this law is trying to protect some types of protection to the women who are facing this domestic violence. So finally, the bill was introduced in Parliament 2002. So finally, this act came into force from 2006. Though the Parliament has introduced the bill, and which was enacted in 2005, And the bill, that is protection of women from domestic violence, came into effect from 2006. ఇది కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి, ఇయర్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ విషయాన్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి, ఏంటంటే ద సెవరల్ విమెన్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, దట్ ఈస్ నేషనల్ కమిషన్ ఫర్ విమెన్, చాలా 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, డెఫినెట్గా మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్. వై ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్? సి, there are a lot of mains questions on this topic, especially every year there is one mains question is coming from National Commission for Women. So if you check this line, see, this is a question. So what is this question? Just one second. Yeah. So do you agree that the National Commission for Women able to strategize and tackle the problems that the women face at both public and private spheres? Give reasons in support of your answer. అంటే ఈ నేషనల్ కమిషన్ ఫర్ విమెన్ అనే ఈ కమిషన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో, ఇట్స్ ఎ స్టాట్యూటరీ బాడీ విచ్ వాస్ ఫార్మ్డ్ ఇన్ 1992. ఇది నిజంగా విమెన్ యొక్క ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ సాల్వ్ చేయగలుగుతుందా అంటే, మరియు పబ్లిక్ మరియు ప్రైవేట్ ప్లేసెస్కి సంబంధించి ఇది నిజంగా సాల్వ్ చేయగలుగుతుందా? ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఏబుల్ టు ట్యాకిల్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్. So it is mandate to review the constitutional and legal safeguards of women. So all the information which I have kept very neatly in its spear headings. So please read this, and I am going to send this document in WhatsApp. And when we are going to deal about especially the triple talaq system or domestic violence bills, the same information about National Commission for Women we are going to discuss again. Right. So I'm moving forward. I'm just closing this document here because it is an NCERT. So not the entire topics to be completed here. So the first, in recognizing the women's right to violence-free home and provides a comprehensive definition of domestic violence. So this is a civil law aimed at providing relief to millions of women. So this Domestic Violence Act is not a criminal law, it is a civil law, including wives, mothers, daughters and sisters affected by violence of their homes. Right, so women can get monetary relief to meet their expenses, including the medical costs, etc. So the question will be, what do you understand by domestic violence? List the two rights that the new law help achieve the women who are survivors of violence. Right. The role of citizen is crucial in helping Parliament to frame a different concerns of the people might have included. This is already we have discussed in the previous chapter lo kuda manaku చదవడం జరిగింది. సో అన్పాపులర్ అండ్ కాంట్రవర్షియల్ లాస్ అంటే ఏంటంటే, ప్రభుత్వం చేసిన కొన్ని చట్టాలని అప్పుడప్పుడు క్రిటిసైజ్ చేసే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇన్ దిస్ టాపిక్ దే హ్యావ్ మెన్షన్డ్ అబౌట్ స్ట్రీట్ వెండర్స్. స్ట్రీట్ వెండర్స్, మున్సిపాలిటీకి సంబంధించి స్ట్రీట్ వెండర్స్ కానీ స్లమ్ ఏరియాస్లో నివసిస్తున్న వాళ్ళకి, సో మున్సిపల్ లాస్ ఏం చెప్తాయంటే, స్పేస్ ఏదైతే ఖాళీగా ఉంటుందో అక్కడ ఎవరు కూడా ఎటువంటి ఎస్టాబ్లిష్మెంట్ చేయకూడదు అని చెప్తారు. కానీ మరి పూర్ పీపుల్కి వేరే ప్లేస్ ఉండదు కాబట్టి దే యూస్ టు యూజ్ ద పబ్లిక్ ప్లేసెస్ ఓపెన్ ఫర్ దర్ పేమెంట్, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఈ వాకింగ్ పేమెంట్స్ని యూజ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. సో కాబట్టి వాటికి సంబంధించి ప్రభుత్వం ఏమైనా చట్టాలు చేసినట్లయితే అవి ఆటోమేటిక్గా క్రిటిసిజం అనేది తీసుకుంటుంది అనమాట. సో ఈ మొత్తం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అదే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు. రైట్ అండి. సో కాబట్టి జస్ట్ మీరు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చూడండి, డెఫినెట్గా మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ఫైనల్లీ వాట్ వీ షుడ్ బేర్ ఇన్ మైండ్ ఈస్ దట్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ అండ్ enthusiasm of the people that help the Parliament perform its representative function so properly. So this is the terminology rule of law. We have already discussed about Article 14, that is the law of the Constitution, which was written by Dr. Professor A.B. Right, sir? So thank you very much, guys. This is the 4th chapter of NCERT, class number 8. Thank you very much.